Well, there's a few pieces of information that we've got. One is that they're celebrating their 150th anniversary this year. They're the second oldest club in the world, the oldest being Sheffield FC up in Yorkshire, but they're the second oldest. I also know that they won 4-0 at Tunbridge Angels in the Ryman League on Tuesday, and we and Dave had them watch down there. And they've got a guy who plays up front called Laurent Amici, who's got 2 hat-tricks this season. He got another hat-trick on Tuesday night. He's got 11 goals this season, and he's the danger man. He's the man the fleet is going to have to watch out for tomorrow. So it's going to be very interesting. This fellow, Amici, French-born, previously played for Dulwich Hamlet, Chipstead, Leighton, Molesey, Colshorten, the Met Police and Sutton. And he had a trial with the Algerian national squad earlier this year. But he's still quite young. I'm not quite sure how old he is, but he's a fairly young player. But he's been around, but he seems to have found his level with Clay Wanderers. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he goes about his business against the fleet defence and to see who picks him up. And it's going to be a fascinating game. Because they're just in the Ryman Premier, which is one division down. But of course, you know, FA Cup, everybody says it's the competition that really does level everything out. And last year, Ebbsfleet went to the same venue, Hayes Lane at Bromley, and they played Bromley, who were then one division below us, and they turned us out of the cup in one of the worst performances we've seen from a fleet side in years. So tomorrow, I know Liam is determined to put that one right and not get, the same sort of result from his trip to Bromley. And of course, we go back there again next Saturday for a huge Blue Square South game against the Landlords at Hayes Lane, Bromley themselves, who are still top of the league.
Yes, yes. Wow, yeah. Well, I guess we can talk about that next week, but I wanted to say, will tomorrow's game be broadcast over the internet?
Yes, indeed. I've got the Magic Matrix kit from BBC Radio 10, which allows us to broadcast from grounds where there isn't a dedicated BBC ICN line, and I'm going to be hooking that up and doing full live commentary on the World Wide Web tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully Wixie will be alongside me because he knows a few things about Clay and he can give us an insight about them, and I'm really looking forward to it. Because I'm next not doing the commentary of the home game, but unfortunately I don't think that's something that's going to be happening certainly from the BBC in the short term, but you never know, we might find a way to do it in future some other way. So in the meantime, make good use, because the fleet will be live on air tomorrow, again next Saturday because we're away at Bromley, and again the week after when we're away at Boreham Wood.
Right. And what about, well now, funny, I'm looking at the schedule here. There's an in-between, maybe it's a mistake. I've got FA Cup third quarter. Is that
exactly? So, I mean, a lot's going to depend on tomorrow. Because if we win tomorrow, then we go into the hat for the next round of the FA Cup. And that could mean, you know, changing our fixture schedule. So, watch this space, folks.
Yes, yes. Wow, exciting stuff. It's just good to see the fleet winning. And
well, as I've said to you on previous occasions, you know, this season, you know, nobody wanted to get relegated. You know, let's make no bones about that. But, you know, this year, we're competitive. You know, we're going into games, you know, with a good chance of winning. And that's all we want. And, you know, to be able to go into the game tomorrow and feel that we can be competitive, and if we play to our form, you know, we should prevail. You know, that's what we want. You know, we don't want to go out every week and think, wow, our side is so much weaker than the rest of the division, you know, we're going to get beaten every week. So, you know, it's a pleasure to go every week and be competitive.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you have any other thoughts?
Well, no, I mean, I think things are ticking over nicely. But we did get one piece of bad news this week when we discovered that one of the old fleet players from the 1960s, a guy called Jim Towers, died after a long illness, age 76. He played for Fleet in the 60s after a hugely successful career with Brentford. He also played for Queen's Park Rangers, Millwall and Gillingham. And then he dropped out of the professional game and went to Romford and then joined the Fleet at the age of 32 in the twilight of his career. But in his first season he scored 31 goals and he was quite a player for Fleet. And it's very sad when we lose one of our old boys, and our thoughts go out to Jim's family. And he was one of the all-time greats of Stonebridge Road. So, thanks for the memories, Jim. I saw him play. He was one of these old-fashioned centre forwards with a barrel chest. And by the time he came to Stonebridge Road, he wasn't very mobile, but he certainly knew where the back of the net was. And us older fans are going to miss the passing of Jim Towers. So, R.I.P. Jim.
Charles, thank you for that. I saw that on the web, on the Fleet website, and thank you for bringing that up. I don't think I could have done that justice.
You see, that's one of the few benefits of being an old fellow like me, that you've been around a long time and you've seen some of these players. So I'm lucky and privileged to say that I could see some of these Fleet greats that younger fans they wouldn't have seen, but at least we can share the memories.
Yeah, and that's very important to pass that down.
It's all part of the heritage of the club,
Yes. All right, well, Charles, thank you again, and we will talk next week, and it's open for a win tomorrow.
Fingers crossed, and we'll chat again next week.
All right, take care.
Take care, bye.
Thanks again, Charles. And now some bits before signing off. I was going to talk about the reserve team. I didn't know much about the reserve team. I didn't know that they played in a league called the Capital League Eastern Division. I was familiar with the reserve team concept. Major League Soccer used to have a reserve team where the injured and the carded players would play to keep in form. But before I talk about the reserve team, there is a ladies team update. The ladies got their first SEC, that's Southeast Combination League, win on Sunday against Cambridge, 1-0. The win comes on top of the cup win the previous Wednesday, a 3-1 affair at Old Actonians. Hats off to the ladies. With the league win, the ladies move out of the cellar from 12th place to 10th place. Next match is at home on Sunday, October 3rd versus Enfield Town. Not an easy match. Enfield sits in 4th place, but the ladies will be looking to avenge an earlier 4-0 loss at Enfield Town. Good luck, ladies. Now back to the reserves. Another 3-1 score. This time the Fleet youth team beat Cray Wanderers in the Fleet FA Cup. The Fleet Academy lost 2-3 to Basingstoke Town, but the Fleet's under-18 team beat Sittingbourne's U18 2 at home. As usual, go to the Ebbs Fleet website for more in-depth reporting. That's ebbsfleetunited.co.uk. I'm not going to pretend that I know any of these youngsters, and to do so would make me look more foolish than I already am. However, this would be a good future segment. One last thing. You know about Easy Search. Each search earns money for the Fleet. You also know about Adopt a Player. Show your love and get an autographed photo of your favorite player by signing up for Adopt a Player. All that's left to say is, this is your humble narrator signing off. Up the Fleet. 1, 2, 1, 2.
There's dark and a troubled side to life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we keep with the darkness and try, the sunny side you also may view.